Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Today, the first piece of news that we will be talking about is actually the major point of contention that has presently resulted in the ousting or the initiation of the process of removal of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. All right. Okay. So, what was the entire issue was that the present leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha, that is Rahul Gandhi, he had brought in a non-published book which has not been published and was written by the erstwhile or the former Army Chief General M.M. Narvane. All right. And the name of the book is 4 Stars of Destiny. So 4 Stars of Destiny is something that you must keep in mind. The name of the book, 4 Stars of Destiny, and written by retired Army Chief M.M. Narvane. All right. Okay. Now the book is not published and he wanted to read certain excerpts where it was believed that Mr. Narvane has given certain insights as to the political structure of the government during his tenure, which naturally draws attention to the present BJP government. Okay. Now, because the book is not published, hence he couldn't read it in the Lok Sabha. He was denied permission to read excerpts from the book. Second, the excerpts have been written by, or the book has been written by M.M. Narvane, and any army chief, any army personnel, they are forbidden to bring to public notice or bring into the public domain any information which can be strategically important, which can be important from the perspective of India's national security, international security. And this is done as they're bound by the Official Secrets Act. So under the Official Secrets Act, the army personnel, they can't disclose any important secret information. All right. So that is what that is why he was not permitted to read the book, and also the book has not been published. Okay. So the government has now undertaken released a new framework or plans to outline certain new guidelines for defense personnel. All right. So at present, there is no single consolidated law specifically governing book writing by retired army officers. The Official Secrets Act is one thing that you must keep in mind. The Official Secrets Act makes disclosure of classified information such as sensitive operational details or any material prejudicial to national security a criminal offense, and the act continues to apply on an officer for life even after retirement. So under such clauses of the Official Secrets Act, the government, the army personnel, they can't actually disclose any information which would be of national or international threat to India's security. Okay. So that is why it is in news, and you must keep it in mind. Now, Official Secrets Act is actually a British era act where you are not permitted to, disclose relevant information. So do keep that in mind. All right. Now, another information on the US trade deal. Everybody knows just how, dicey can Donald Trump be. He's a very, very moody leader, a very moody personality. One minute he says something, the other minute he says something else. He reverts back to his already said statements. So along similar lines, now the previous deal, that was the deal that has been presently signed, was an interim deal, and we are still awaiting a formal framework to be released for the public as well as in the parliament. That is why a few days back there was another debate in the parliament saying that the government is not permitting the opposition members to take up the deal. So Piyush Goyal, our commerce minister, he had even said that the deal is not being taken up in the parliament as of now because we don't have a printed framework, we don't have a proper outlined framework as of now. All right. Okay. So again, a few days back, there was major ire among the farmers, among the agricultural sector, which said that they are going to be hit badly by the US trade deal. So now the US has, taken out some sort of a formal fact sheet, and in this fact sheet of the India-US trade agreement, they have dropped certain references in the sense that they pulses, agricultural products, etc. have been removed from the actual printed form of the US trade deal. All right, so this can be also seen as a relief, and also can be, you know, seen as a major cloud over the actual effective deal. All right, so do keep this in mind. The same excerpt from another newspaper, the Indian Express, where they've dropped certain things like that India had committed to undertake by imports of US goods worth $500 billion, and also certain pulses, which was in news just yesterday, has been removed today. Okay. Then yesterday I had taken this particular information for y'all, where I did flag the issue that Russia did come out and said that they hope that the new US-India trade deal does not adversely affect Russian interests in the country, okay, in India. So naturally, that was something that they shouldn't worry about, because India has always been a very good friend to Russia. And today, again, the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, in the State Duma. What is the Duma? The Parliament of Russia is known as Duma. Okay, so do keep the term Duma in mind. And there he stated that nobody other than Donald Trump has said that India is not going to buy Russian oil. And it is absolutely true. India did not come out and about to say that India is going to stop purchasing Russian oil and that India is going to purchase more energy resources from US and probably Venezuela. It was everything that was said and mentioned by USA and not by India. So that is everything that is actually pointed out. Okay. Okay. Then another important information another important project that you must keep in mind is the Cain-Betwa liver inking project. And recently, major protests, demonstrations have been taking place against this particular project of the government. Now, the Cain-Betwa river linking project was on the table for quite a few years, and it was formalized by the government in around 2022. And under this particular project, or under the river linking project, what the government actually seeks to do, that the government wants to transfer water from one river which has surplus water, okay, to another river which has deficient water. Okay, a river which has more water is going to give away some of its water to a river which has less water. So in the case of Cain-Betwa river linking project, more or surplus water from the Cain river, which is in MP, will be given to the less or the water deficient river, which is the Betwa river, and this Betwa river is in UP. Okay, now this Betwa river falls in the Bundelkhand region of UP, in the southern part of UP, and this Bundelkhand region has always faced this problem of deficiency in rainfall, deficiency in water resources. So this particular initiative has been undertaken for this particular purpose only, that more water should be made available to the people living in the Bundelkhand region. Other than that, the entire river linking project also envisioned harnessing of hydropower, around 103 megawatt of hydropower and 27 megawatt of solar power. Okay, so this is hydropower, this is solar power that will be harnessed from this. Two dams are set to be set up. One is the Duandar Dam and the other is the Aur Dam. So two dams would be set up under the Cain-Betwa river linking project. And the most important concern here is the Panna Tiger Reserve. Okay, the Panna Tiger Reserve is going to fall amidst the river linking project, and ecologists and environmentalists have flagged the issue that the Panna Tiger Reserve is going to be absolutely damaged and can face major ecological adverse implications. Okay, so this is everything with respect to the Cain-Betwa river linking project that you must keep in mind. And because of such ecological implications, people are protesting protesters including tribals, women, workers of opposition parties, and more than 40 unidentified people. Okay. Also, opposition parties including AAP, including Congress, including the Samajwadi Party. Okay. All right. The project was announced in 2022 and given a formal, a formal flag off, or the foundation stone was put in 2024. Okay. All right. Now, the next one is just a continuation of the Manipur new chief minister in Manipur. And now, because the chief minister has been installed, so the state emergency is no longer there in the state of Manipur. And today's 12th, 13th of February last year in 2025, state emergency was proclaimed for the state of Manipur following the ethnic conflicts between Kuki-Zo tribes and Meitei tribes. All right. So now the appointed chief minister, Yumnam Khemchand Singh, has gone out to interact with the people, get an understanding amongst themselves, and naturally to reduce the entire conflict in the state. Okay. All right. Now, yesterday, the government also outlined guidelines for Vande Mataram. All right. Now, the Vande Mataram, everybody please remember that this year we are celebrating 150 years of Vande Mataram. I've taken this up for you all many times, so I'm not going to repeat it again. Vande Mataram was written on 7th of November 1875. So 7th of November 2025, we commemorated 150 years of Vande Mataram, and from 7th of November 2025 to 7th of November 2026, we are undertaking a full-fledged 1-year-long celebration of the inception of Vande Mataram. All right, written by Bankim Chand Chatterjee, for the first time published in his book Anand Mat. All right, and Vande Mataram was made the national song of India on 24th of January 1950. Okay, so now this year, commemorating 150 years of Vande Mataram, the government has also set up, brought about new guidelines which have to be enforced with respect to Vande Mataram. That Vande Mataram will be given an equal respect as that of the national anthem under the directive, under the fundamental duties of Part 4A and Article 51A of the Constitution. The guidelines say that Vande Mataram should be sung before the national anthem. In whichever event that they are going to undertake this, the audience must stand at attention when the official version. Now, also another thing that they've mentioned here, that Vande Mataram as in its original form, which was inclusive of 6 stanzas, will be sung, not the 2 stanzas that were adopted. So the original version of 6 stanzas are to be sung, and this original version of 6 stanzas is of 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay? So itna kara jayega, and standing is not required if it is played as part of a newsreel or a documentary. And also the official version shall be accompanied by mass singing during unfurling of national flag, cultural occasions or ceremonial functions other than parades. All right, so do go through this article. It is an important information and it's a probable question in the exam. Okay, again, the same continuation of the previous article. Do go through it in the other newspaper. Next important piece of news is again everything that is happening between Iran and the United States of America. On and off, they keep on undertaking statements against each other, issuing statements against each other. US is significantly being very aggressive against Iran, only because wants Iran to remove or reduce its uranium enrichment or nuclear, not arsenals, but nuclear energy plants. And also, as of now, Iran is majorly hit with Protestants who want the present Ayatollah regime to be over. All right. So US has threatened that Iran must undertake significant steps in these directions, and if Iran does not undertake this, then there is a probability that US is going to launch an armada against Iran. All right. So the Iranian president Masoud Pezeshkian, he has said that Iran is not going to stoop down in the face of aggression. Although the Iranian economy is majorly hit, it was there in the editorials just a few days back that the Iranian economy is majorly hit. They have massive unemployment, massive inflation rates. But and if they do undertake a full-fledged war against the United States of America, it could further weaken the economy. But in spite of such circumstances, Iran is very extremely unwilling to stoop down or bend in the face of US threats. Okay. All right. Then last year, the major Air India crash that took place of flight 171, which was from Ahmedabad airport to the airport of London, and 12 crew members and 229 passengers died. One particular person was saved. So the Supreme Court has ordered that the probe the probe into the reasons and causes for the Air India crash must be undertaken and completed within the next 3 weeks. All right. Investigation is undertaken by Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. So do keep it in mind. Okay. Then today, the 12th of February, is going to witness elections in Bangladesh after the July revolution last year. So this year in the elections, other than the Awami League, the party of Sheikh Hasina, other than that, there are innumerable parties who have been permitted to contest the elections, 2 of them being Bangladeshi Nationalist Party and Jamaat-e-Islami. So the 2 of them, BNP has accused Jamaat-e-Islami of buying votes before polling. Okay, I'll take this up in detail in one of the editorials today, a wonderful one. Okay, another piece of information and very important information. Of late, in terms of international relations, India is doing extremely well. We have our leaders undertaking meetings in other countries with their counterparts, and we have a large number of presidents, prime ministers coming into India to meet their counterparts. All right. So in yesterday's newspaper, we did flag Emmanuel Macron coming to India, and now we also have the prime minister of the president of Brazil, Lula da Silva. All right. So he is also here. He will also be coming here naturally to attend the AI Impact Summit, and also he will undertake bilateral negotiations with India, and he has 2 major things in mind, one being defense and the other being technology. So technology and defense are going to be 2 major domains. So do keep an eye out for any particular trade agreement that is between India and Brazil. Okay. Okay, then another piece of news that we have the Prime Minister's Museum, which has been set up in Delhi. So this is just a one-liner that you must keep in mind. This particular Prime Minister's Museum is going to contain the replicas of Morarji Desai's 2 awards. One is Nishan-e-Pakistan, which is an honor of Pakistan, and Morarji Desai has been, I believe, the only Prime Minister of India who has been given this award. All right. And then Bharat Ratna. Both of Morarji Desai's awards would be put at the PM Museum in Delhi. Okay. Presently, they are in the Gujarat Vidyapeeth, which was set up by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Okay. Then coming to the editorials for today. Raining in a bigot. Okay, now this particular article is a major take on the present Chief Minister of Assam, and this article basically says that the present Chief Minister, Mr. Sarma, he's been making innumerable statements which is not only diverting the attention of the people from the major problems of the state, like poor human development index, poor per capita income, poor industrial employment, lesser number of people enrolled in educational institutions, lack of development in terms of human capital, they are not only are his statements diverting people from the major problems of the state, but also his statements are resulting in too much of, divergence and, deep rooted communalism in the state. All right. So this is what the article basically talks about, that it is under his leadership, the state is straying away from the ideals of the preamble, the ideals of the constitution, the basic structure of the constitution, the basic structure of the country, which seeks to promote secularism, seeks to promote fraternity. His statements, which are which are bigotry in nature, which bring bigotry. Bigot meaning somebody who is born or, strives to pass on orthodox dogmatic beliefs and something that is very prejudiced and based on false beliefs. All right. So this is what the article talks about. So do go through the article, a wonderful article, talks about everything that is happening in Assam, where the government is not undertaking any development activity and is straying away from the basic ideals of the constitution, like secularism, fraternity, etc. Okay, another piece of article, a good one, do go through it, talks about the process of special intensive revision, drawing attention to the fact that Mamata Banerjee becoming the first sitting chief minister to fight a case against this particular exercise. It also talks about the fact that what is special intensive revision of electoral rolls and how maybe Article 324 and the Representation of People's Act 1950 has maybe been misinterpreted in giving adverse powers to the Election Commission of India to undertake special intensive revision in the country. All right. The article also moves on to say things like, in the present SIR exercise, which was undertaken to remove any defaults, remove any discrepancies from the electoral rolls, is actually undertaking removal of a large number of people who were maybe previously voters in the country. So they have been removed because of this major because of this major special intensive revision exercise that is being undertaken, and the exercise is being interpreted as a process to verify the citizenship of the people, because naturally you can't extend voting rights to somebody who's not a citizen of the country. Okay, so this is what the article talks about. Do go through it, and also asks that the judiciary must come into, or step in to provide relief to the people. Okay, another article which talks about the recommendations or the devolution of funds on the recommendations of the 16th Finance Commission. When I had taken the budget session, I had clarified the meanings of the term devolution to you all, so I can go back and revise. This article says, and after that, naturally, there were consecutively many articles which did pinpoint the fact that the states are very unhappy with the amount of money that is being devolved to them from the center to the state. All right. So the 16th Finance Commission, which was established in 2023, has submitted its recommendation for the year 2026 to 2031. Finance Commission established under Article 280 of the Constitution. Presently, the chairperson being Arvind Panagria. All right. The 16th Finance Commission said under Article 240 of the 270 of the Constitution. So one more article that you must keep in mind. Article 270 specifically talks about economic center-state relations, economic basis of the center-state relations. Okay, and under this they talk about distribution of the center's tax proceeds, a part of the center's tax proceeds to the states. So as per the recommendation of the 15th Finance Commission said that 41% of the money that the center receives as proceeds of taxes, cesses, surcharges, 41% of that total money must be devolved to the states. All right. Now, the 13th Finance Commission did say, called this particular devolution fixed it at 32%. Then the 14th Finance Commission increased this to 42%. Then the 15th Finance Commission again brought it back to 41. saying that the center needs a little more money because 2 new union territories have been created. That is the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. And as per the 15th Finance Commission, till today, the 16th Finance Commission also upheld that the amount of money that should be devolved would be 41%. Now, because because India is a federal structure where we brought in new institutions also like Niti Aayog, etc., which seeks to foster federal cooperativism in the country, cooperative federalism in the country. There were a large number of states who had even recommended that this devolution of fund from 41% must be increased to 50%. All right, a group of states did recommend 50%. And another group of states also recommended around 45 to 48%. But none of such changes were incorporated by the 16th Finance Commission, and the 16th Finance Commission upheld the devolution of fund of 41%. The states complained that this fund or this devolution of money is quite meager, which does not effectively facilitate economic development of the states. Okay, so do go through the article. This is what the article basically talks about. Next one, elections in Bangladesh. All right, now elections are scheduled to be held today. This election or this government after this election is also, prompted as second liberation. Pehla liberation kya tha? This is the second liberation today. The first liberation was the 1971 War of Bangladesh. All right. In this particular election, a total of 2,034 candidates are going to participate from various political parties, 59 registered political parties. Okay. In Bangladesh, of which 51 are participating in the elections. There are two major blocks, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party and the 11-party alliance includes Jamaat-e-Islami and National Citizen Party. All right, so two major blocks we have, Bangladesh Nationalist Party on one side, and on the second largest party is a coalition of 11 parties including Jamaat-e-Islami and National Citizen Party. Okay, now they are going to be contesting these elections. Bangladesh National Party is a more forward-looking party. Okay, more forward-looking party, more non-conservative in nature. These parties, however, are more conservative, and BNP also has political affiliations or political bends like that of Awami League. Okay, what is Awami League's present status? Awami League was the party of the previous Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. So Awami League and all of its activists and all of its party members, they have been forbidden from participating in the elections. They have been barred under the Anti-Terrorism Act of Bangladesh. All right. Also, this year, the government, because this entire upheaval and ousting of the Sheikh Hasina government took place in the month of July last year. So the government framed or sought to bring about a new amendment. So firstly, the political upheaval is termed as the July Revolution also, and then the interim government established under Muhammad Yunus, he suggested of bringing certain changes in the constitution of Bangladesh. These changes in the constitution was termed as the July Charter. Okay, the July Charter, and the government wants to be more people-centric now. So this July Charter will be enforced only after undertaking a referendum. Okay, now what is a referendum? A referendum is an instrument of direct democracy where any policy, program, etc. is opened to the people, the general citizens, to vote. If people vote in favor of it, then that particular policy, program, etc. is implemented. If they vote against it, then it is removed. Okay, so this is what the article talks about. Do go through it. It's an important one. Okay, all right. Now another piece of article. It's a wonderful take. on how did Venezuela come about, and how Trump's entire invasion of Venezuela, removal of the government, etc., is very similar to the imperialistic plunder, etc., that was previously undertaken by the European countries. Okay, so it is a good contrasting article which seeks to draw parallels in the European imperialism, and which was a part of the 19th century process. Till the 19th or the 20th century, the European imperialism to that of Trump's present imperialism, which can also be, in the words of Trump, understood as the Dunro Doctrine. Okay. All right. Now, this article basically says that initially how Venezuela wanted to take up a communist form of government, a socialist form of government, and under Hugo Chavez, he actually wanted to establish a government which was more people-centric, wanted to bring about nationalization of everything in the country, and wanted to naturally, and when you bring about nationalization of everything, you sought to make everything public owned, and sought to remove private property, etc. What are you actually doing is that you are sort of establishing a socialist form of government. And when you look at socialism, socialism, communism can never go down well with America. So the same problem arose here also, due to which after the removal or non-winning of elections by Hugo Chavez, the present government could not win the favors of USA, and thereby USA undertook Operation Absolute Resolve, arrested the leader Maduro, and as of now is trying to establish a government which aligns with USA. Okay, so do go through the article. Wonderful article. There are certain terms here which you must keep in mind. One is a coup and a push. Okay, you will find a word in the article which says pushists. All right, so coup and pushists come from the word push. So both of them are actually violent uprisings where people undertake a violent uprising against the legitimately elected government. All right, so do go through the article. A wonderful one. Okay, the next one, just a simple article on the melting of glaciers. So everybody knows that the present climate change has triggered massive global warming, which has resulted in melting of the glaciers. Now, whenever glaciers melt, that results into major problems like the glaciers are melting because of rising temperatures. Also, glaciers are considered major storehouses of carbon dioxide. So when glaciers melt, major release of carbon dioxide takes place in the atmosphere, which again triggers further global warming. Okay. Then another thing, that warming of melting of glaciers are going to result in rising sea levels, rising water levels. This will also one of the problems is that when temperatures warm up, it results in more spread of vector-borne diseases, because naturally warm temperatures, humid temperatures become breeding grounds for such insects. All right, so this is what this entire article basically talks about. Okay, so do go through it. It's a wonderful article, just a basic one. All right, another article just takes us back to the entire ruckus that was happening in the parliament, and basically says that even if that we are moving, the opposition members are undertaking a no trust motion in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha, it is not an answer to the fact that the speaker is supposed to be a neutral person. A speaker is supposed to be a non-partisan person. This removal will not solve the problem on the basic functioning of the speaker. So more concerted steps must be should be undertaken to enforce this basic idea behind the putting into place a speaker in the in the parliament. All right, then another article by Shashi Tharoor, he's written this wonderfully, calling for reorganization of states. So he draws a major comparison as to when previously, for the first time in 1953, when the first States Reorganization Commission was set up under Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel and Pattabhi Sitaramaiah, in 1953, they called for reorganization of states and for the first time called for establishment of Andhra Pradesh, that is separation of all the Telugu speaking people or the Telugu speaking region from that of Madras. And then consecutively, there were significant state reorganizations in the country on linguistic lines. Then eventually in the year 2000, we did see another reorganization of states in the terms of bifurcation of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand from Uttar Pradesh, and these were facilitated on lines of administrative conveniences. Okay, so he's actually called attention to the fact that the population is majorly rising in the country, and in many states like Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, there is major, diversity in the state itself, due to which maybe one government at the center can't undertake effective administration of the entire state, due to which he's called that maybe we should rethink a state reorganization, and this time keeping in mind the economic development of the regions, naturally aligning with the greater goal of national development. Okay. All right. Then this one article, it talks about a religion which is Baha religion. You can say Bahaism is what it is. So this particular religion, Bahaism, it was actually established in the 19th century by Baharullah. Okay, Baharullah. Sorry, Baha'ullah. You may pronounce it howsoever you want to. And founded in Iran only in the 19th century. And this particular religion actually, called for a little removal or a little moving away from very stringent religious ideologies and preached humanity. Okay, preached humanity and its spiritual unity. Okay, humanity and its spiritual unity, in the sense that Bahaism simply sought to, teach the people that people should not be so much engrossed in their religious differences that they must forget that everybody is a human before any other XYZ religion. So the amount of, religious atrocities that are inflicted on people just because one community belongs to some other religious faith and another community belongs to some other religious faith, you can't start exterminating people on the ground that maybe they have religious differences. So Bahaism was one thing that was actually, talking about keeping humanity above everything, and if you are humane in nature, you will always receive spiritual deliverance. Okay, so now in Iran, after 1979, what actually happened was that Islamic revolution took place, and the entire religious structure of the country became very, very rigid, due to which there were again massive exterminations of people who maybe believed in some other religion like Bahaism. So this is what the article actually talks about. Okay, do go through it. All right, this is another piece of news which has to be done in news in short. So here the Supreme Court has notified new guidelines for designating senior advocates. All right, so notified the guidelines for designation of senior advocates by the Supreme Court in 2026. It is sought to put an end to 100-point assessment system, which was previously used to evaluate candidates. All right, so what are now the qualifications? Now the qualitative assessment will be built around ability of the individual, standing at the bar, as in, his position, how good a lawyer, advocate, etc., or special knowledge or experience in law of the candidate. Okay, now these would be also the qualities that will be looked into when they are designating somebody as a senior advocate in the court. All right, and naturally 10 years of experience as an advocate or combined standing of a 10 years as an advocate and a district and sessions judge or as a judicial member of a tribunal will still be undertaken. Okay. Then Poland and Italy. All right, now some days back, Donald Trump had brought into existence or had talked about establishing a board of peace to bring about peace between Israel and Palestine. Not only Israel and Palestine, but also sought to bring about or establish peace otherwise also if any other conflict breaks out in the world. All right, so Poland and Italy, they've recently said that they will not join Trump's board of peace. Okay, then another continuation of the previous thing only. Trump and Netanyahu, they are also going to hold meetings, and Netanyahu, the president of the prime minister of Israel, and Israel is one region in the West Asian region which actually serves as the major major region from where US operates and undertakes all its agenda in the West Asian regions. All right, so they are also undertaking meetings with respect to chalking out a plan as to what has to be done for Iran. All right, then another article in the Indian Express which just talks about the Bangladesh polls that are supposed to take place together today, 12th of February. Okay, another is that NATO has now launched Arctic Sentry military umbrella as Trump continues to eye Greenland. Okay, now a few days back, Denmark had undertaken an exercise, Arctic Endurance, and it was this exercise in Greenland that was undertaken by Denmark, military exercise along with certain other Scandinavian countries, which had actually triggered Trump into saying that that he feels that Greenland is very important for USA's national and international security, and that is why he was eyeing to take over Greenland. Okay, so similarly, along the same thing, Arctic Sentry is also proposed by NATO, which will not be a military operation, but it will simply imply maybe a little bit of deployment of troops there in the Arctic region under the ambit of NATO. Okay, and what have they said? In the face of Russian increased military activity and China's growing interest in the high north. So they've cited reasons of China and Russia that they want to undertake this entire military deployment there. Okay. All right. Now, India and US, they have now, they are trying to formalize the deal on paper, and they are saying that they are going to sign this deal before the end of March. Okay, so just the basic idea. Just wanted to flag end of March for you all. Just keep the timeline in mind. Okay. Then this is another piece of news on the same thing previously that we've done already. That pulses, etc. They have been removed as of now, not included in the formal this thing. Not only pulses, but also taxes on digital services, and that India commits to stop purchasing Russian oil, etc. They're all not formally mentioned in the new draft that has been brought in. Okay, so do go through the article. It is an important one. All right, then these I just wanted to flag the name of these two new telescopes that have been proposed to be set up in Ladakh's observatory. So the name of the telescope, which is meant to study the sun, is National Large Solar Telescope. National Large Solar Telescope, a 2-meter aperture solar telescope, and the second one is National Large Optical Near Infrared Telescope, which is also abbreviated as NLOT. Okay. All right, and also they've talked about, other than these two new telescopes that are to be set up, they've also talked about the upgradation of Himalayan Chandra telescope that already exists there. Okay. All right, then just a very sweet article that I just wanted to flag for you all, that certain inscriptions written in Tamil Brahmi have been found in Egypt. Okay, in the tomb, at tombs in the Valley of Kings in Egypt. Okay, so Tamil Brahmi, Prakrit and Sanskrit. Tamil Brahmi, Prakrit and Sanskrit. In these three languages, we have inscriptions that have been found in Egypt. Okay. Okay, just wanted to flag the name of the RBI governor, Sanjay Malhotra, and he's the 26th governor of RBI. So do keep the name in mind. He is going to hold a meeting with Nirmala Sitharaman finance minister. Again, another term I wanted to flag for you all, it is Vayu Shakti. Vayu Shakti is an in-house exercise of the Air Forces, Indian Air Force, that is going to take place. And they've just at this particular in this particular exercise Vayu Shakti, they basically just demonstrate all the aircrafts and all sort of weaponry etc that the Indian Air Force has. All right, so this exercise is set to take place in Pokhran. And yesterday only, in terms of when we did Emmanuel Macron coming to India, so there was a statement that was made saying that the Indian Air Force needs around 113 Rafale. Okay, so do keep in mind Rafale, Sukhoi Su-30, MiG-29, Mirage 2000, Jaguar, Tejas, Rafale, Apache, Chinook, etc. All of them will be showcased here in this exercise. Okay. All right. Just wanted to flag the term internally displaced persons. So internally displaced people are people who have to leave their homes and go to some other region in the same country, not outside the country, in the same country due to violence, etc., in the place of their original residence. Okay. So do keep the term in mind. All right. Then Abraham Lincoln, we are celebrating his 217th birthday. Who was Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of USA. He was assassinated in 1865 and he was the president from 1834. Then he led US through the civil war that took place in America between the northern countries, that is the northern states, that is the industrial region, and the southern states, which were the agricultural states. And then he undertook two major things. One is his entire, leading of the civil war, and the second is his entire work resulting in the emancipation of slavery in the in America. Okay, or just doing away with racism in the states. All right. Okay. Just a flagging of the term again. NATO launches Arctic Sentry mission just to deploy some military arsenals in Greenland. Then another person we have Charles Darwin, and something about him. Just remember that today was his birth anniversary, and Charles Darwin is known for his book Origin of Species, where he basically gives a good insight into the theory of evolution of natural selection and theory of evolution. Through that, he only wants to pitch this idea saying survival of the fittest, that whosoever is absolutely fit in everything, it is them only that they survive while destroying other species in nature. Okay. Then another personality in news, on his birth anniversary, we have Dayanand Saraswati. All right. So Dayanand Saraswati is an important personality that you must keep in mind. So Dayanand Saraswati's original name was Mool Shankar. Mool Shankar. He was born in Gujarat and he's undertaken massive social reformist movement. One of his most important ideas was back to the Vedas, where he laid emphasis on Vedas being the supreme. Also undertook the Shuddhi movement. What is the Shuddhi movement? Through the Shuddhi movement, he basically wanted to reconvert to Hinduism everybody who had left Hinduism and converted to some other religion like Islam or Christianity. Okay. Then he established the Arya Samaj. Okay. Arya Samaj, which seeks to do away with the ills or evils of Brahmanism. Arya Samaj was initially established in Mumbai with its headquarters, later headquartered in Lahore, established in the year 1875. Do keep the year in mind. Then he also has resulted in the establishment of the DAV colleges in 1886. Okay? So इतनी चीजें इनके बारे में याद रखना. Then I'll obviously take it up for all in detail during the monthly sessions. Okay. Then one more term that I wanted to flag for you all was Aurora Borealis. Okay. Aurora Borealis are northern lights that occur due to charged particles of gases like nitrogen, etc., found in one atmospheric layer known as ionosphere. So do keep ionosphere in mind. The ionosphere is much closer to the Earth's surface in the polar regions as compared to the equator, where the atmosphere is thicker. The troposphere is more thick. All right. So aurora borealis is northern lights that we see in the northern hemisphere in the Arctic region, and aurora australis is what is witnessed in the southern region near Australia. Okay, in the South Pole in the Antarctic region. So this was everything from the newspaper today. I know it was a little lengthy, but we had good important things in the newspaper. So do keep all of this in mind and make sure that you read all these articles. And I'll see you soon with the next one. Thank you.